Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our biohacking information session. My name is Karen Murphy. I'm so excited to have the opportunity to be presenting tonight with my beautiful friend and business partner, Lisa Sauer. Usually I have Janelle James, but she has another event to attend, and Lisa has kindly offered her time. She is such a busy woman. She helps her husband run 2 businesses, and her background is actually as a registered nurse practitioner. This woman, she's a mum of 3, and I just love the wisdom that she shares with people in terms of biohacking and nutrigenomics and how they can improve their health in a natural way that is proven. And she explains it so well, and I'm just really excited to hear that from her tonight. Now, if you've got any questions, feel free to hold on until the end, and then we'll unmute everyone and you're free to ask any questions at the end. And we always encourage, if you do have questions and don't want to stay on, then just get back in touch with whoever invited you to this information session. We usually take about 30 to 40 minutes. We'll go through a lot. We're going to give you the best information all about this company, breakthrough products and science, and then a little bit about the business as well, which I'm super passionate about. So you'll hear from me later. But first, please, I'd love for you to get started, Lisa, and share all about this incredible company. Thank you so much.
What a wonderful introduction. Thanks, Karen. Absolutely. Look, my name is Lisa. I am based on the Sunshine Coast. And of course, that's my beautiful family there. Now, most people choose to put like their best family photo up. Anyone who knows me knows I'm so black and white. I keep it real. These are my guys. You can see my younger son's a bit cheeky. He's got his dad's face, giving it a bit of a rub. My eldest son, I don't know if you can look at my daughter. She's looking really disgusted there. My eldest son just laughed. Here's me. I'm wanting a family photo, and they couldn't get their stuff together long enough to do it. But you know what? I look at that and I smile, because that's real. They're my guys. They're real. They're not faking it for anyone. So everyone loves that story. It's just what it is. But yeah, I've been a registered nurse for a really long time, really passionate about preventative health and proactive health. Love those concepts. It's my belief that if we can teach people to live their healthiest lives and not lead to that down that disease path, that's what we're here for. That's what makes my heart sing. That's why I'm here and in the business. But it didn't start being that overwhelmingly passionate. You see, my sister brought this information to me, knowing how much I love prevention and thinking that I would just jump on board immediately. How many times do we do that? We bring this information to people we think are going to love it, and they totally shoot it down. I did it. I shut it down. And I can laugh about it now, but the fact is, I didn't know what oxidative stress was. I did not get taught that concept throughout my university degree. So for me, a product that protected against oxidative stress, I was thinking, well, yeah, that's great, but who cares? Like what's this all about? So I really had like those horses with blinkers on. That's what I did to my sister for a full 6 months, guys. If you've got people you're talking to, be patient. Some people are slower than others. So basically it got to a point where she was lovingly sending me research papers, and it was catching my attention because these research papers were on PubMed. Now I knew that was a valid source of information. I couldn't discount it, and then she'd send me cardiologists talking about why they became involved in the company, and that really got my attention. I've worked with a lot of doctors, and especially specialists. They do not look at natural health products the same way that other people would. So for a cardiologist to be involved, that was huge. So I set about one Christmas, determined to actually politely show her how wrong she was. And I was so wrong. I was so wrong, guys. The first thing I did was find out about oxidative stress. Then I realized that really high levels of oxidative stress were literally linked with everything you don't want. And then protection against oxidative stress became essential. So that got my attention. But I had this big burning question. If this is so good, why the hell am I hearing about it from my little sister? Do you know, that was my big big question why. And so I love starting with this slide because it really gets the elephant out of the room before we've even kicked off. So back in 2005, ABC did a primetime investigative report on the product Protandim. Now, these guys are like our 60 Minutes or our Current Affair, but typically they like to disprove products or services because at the end of the day, if they have these airy, fairy, lovely, great stories, they don't get the same audience viewership that they would if they create controversy. So they don't set out to prove products right. They set out to disprove them. Now, we have an American research paper that proves that Protandim reduces oxidative stress in the blood an average of 40% in 30 days. What they did, for those of you who've seen the report, you'll already know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, please do make sure you watch that after this. What they did was they had their reporter, John Kionis, have his blood measured before starting Protandim. He took it for just 2 weeks, and then he had his blood measured again. Now, they were hoping that they would not be able to see the same reduction of oxidative stress as what our research paper has proven. For those of you who have seen it, you'll know that his blood was oxidative stress level was reduced 45% in that 2 weeks. So far from disproving what we had, it overwhelmingly proved what we had. I mean, blood does not lie. And so, of course, a multitude of people who were watching this went, oh my God, I need that now. I want my blood to look that good. And so the company got millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of orders overnight. The problem with that is they were a small biotech company with only a handful of scientists. They didn't have the infrastructure, the sales team, the marketing team. They certainly didn't have the stock. They were not ready to receive millions of dollars overnight. And even though they put processes into place to start ramping up that production, it took months before they were even close to being able to fill some of those orders. And so those orders went unfilled. By the time production and the stock was in place, they tried online, and of course that wasn't well received because it was the ABC that had driven traffic to it in the first place. And so they put it into your chemist warehouse type stores, G&C over in America. It sat between vitamin C and fish oil on a shelf. Now, I'm going to explain to you what oxidative stress is. I'm going to talk to you about what the product is and what it does. It's going to take me about 20 minutes. There's no way that you could possibly put that information on the side of a little blue label. It's just not physically possible. So people were going into the chemist stores not knowing what it is or what it did. The sales were about half a bottle per store per month, and the company was very seriously looking at going bankrupt. So they brought in a marketing guy and they said, well, what do we do? And he looked at this information and said, you've got a positive primetime report. Are you insane? He goes, most companies would pay to get a positive primetime report. You've got it and you're not utilizing it. They said, there is a story to be told here. This needs to be sold person to person. People need to understand what is high levels of oxidative stress, why are high levels bad for the body, and why is protection against oxidative stress absolutely essential. And if you can't explain that, then nobody's going to use this product. And so the company was like, well, the scientists were like, heck no. This is our like whole life's research here, but they didn't have a choice. So what they did was they put it into direct sales for 6 months, and they left it on the store. And guess what? It outsold retail 300% because it was a no-brainer. When people understand something, when they understand the value of what they've got, that's when they go on and obviously they want to purchase and become a customer. So what is oxidative stress? Well, oxidative stress is cellular damage. It's also free radical damage. Those three terms mean the exact same thing. All of this, everything that we're about to talk about, has to do with the cells of our body. So I want you guys to understand, our bodies are made up of over 370 trillion cells. We have skin cells, we've got brain cells, we've got lung cells, we've got cardiac cells. Every single part of our body is made up of cells. Now, if you have a look at the bottom left of the screen, you've got a cell that's healthy, it's vibrant, it's symmetrical, it looks really, really good. That's a healthy, normal cell. When we have an excess of what we call free radicals in the body, then those free radicals in excess damage the cells of our bodies. They literally attack those cells. And a cell that has been attacked by free radicals is what we call a cell with cellular damage, or a cell with oxidative stress. See that manky looking one on the right? That's a cell with oxidative stress. So if you've got really high levels of those manky looking cells and your body's renewing and rejuvenating on a regular basis, how well and how efficiently do you think that process is going to be? What causes oxidative stress is, well, there's a whole lot of things. Here's a newsflash: you can't avoid it, because if you eat, breathe, or drink, you create free radicals. Now, our bodies are amazing, and we have always been able to balance. So you've got the yin and the yang. You've got free radicals, and where we produce free radicals, our body has an antioxidant defense system which balances and neutralizes those free radicals and keeps us in check. But guys, we don't live the way that our parents and grandparents lived. 40, 50 years ago, they were meat and three veg. They were eating whatever come out of the garden or local produce. They didn't have the herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, the artificial colours, the artificial flavours, the GMOs. They did not have the physical stress and the emotional stress that a lot of us in our busy, hectic lives have got these days. They probably had a certain amount of makeups and things like that, but man, we take that to the next level these days. We've got sunscreens and makeups and deodorants and all of these lovely things that may make us smell nice, but don't necessarily do our bodies any favours. On top of that, you've got your environment. Now, how many cars do you think were on the road 40, 50 years ago versus how many cars we've got on the road these days? A healthy walk to keep us active is not necessarily as healthy as we think when we're sucking in so much car exhaust. You've also got what I consider to be one of the most concerning: EMFs, or electromagnetic frequencies. We've got that from the Wi-Fi in our home, at work, at schools, and the shopping centres. We've got mobiles, laptops, we've got computers, we've got fluorescent lights. We literally bombard our bodies with devices that are proven to increase oxidative stress. So don't take my word for that. You can go to pubmed.gov and look at EMFs and oxidative stress, and you will see that there is a direct correlation to that exposure and oxidative stress in the body. So we know that oxidative stress is cellular damage. We know that really high levels of cellular damage in the body are directly linked with more than 200 different disease states. That's proven in PubMed. If you think about the body and you think about cells and you think about all of the organ systems that we've got, you will see that every single system in the body can be affected by oxidative stress, whether it's the neurological system, cardiovascular, circulatory. Every system can be affected by high levels of oxidative stress. Most people live their lives not even considering their health until they're unwell. We live in a reactive world where we're constantly reacting to everything as opposed to being proactive. So most people will get to about, 60 to 70 years of age. They start getting symptomatic of blood pressure, of, diabetes, or whatever it is that's going on. They have drug or pharmaceutical intervention, which extends their health span with those pharmaceuticals. What we want to talk about and what we want to start teaching people is that we can be proactive with our health. So if we can keep the cells of our bodies healthy longer, then we can avoid that drug intervention and that drug treatment, and we can actually increase the quality and quantity of our lifespan. Everything that we talk about tonight is about balance. Every single thing that we're talking about. So I said to you before, where we have free radicals, the body has an antioxidant defense system. But the world we live in has us at an imbalance because we have far more free radicals exposed to us than our antioxidant defense system can cope with. That puts us out of balance. But there's good news because next slide, we've got a product that is quite literally the solution to a problem the world doesn't realize it's got yet. I am so excited about this because honestly, you are all hearing information that, you mark my words, 5 to 10 years from now, there'll be multiple companies with nerve tube activators because this is quite literally the future of health and wellness. And we are with a company at the forefront of nutrigenomics. It's very exciting. So what is Protandim apart from the solution to everything? It is what we call an NRF2 activator. So it is not like anything you've ever come across in your life. It is not a supplement. It works by naturally activating our body's antioxidant defense system. So it boosts it and allows it to produce more of those God-given antioxidant enzymes to put us back in balance. Now, we have American research which clinically proves we are able to reduce oxidative stress an average of 40% in 30 days, which is huge because blood does not lie. It is comprised of 5 natural plant ingredients. You've got turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, bacopa, and ashwagandha. But I've got people who say to me, I take green tea, I take turmeric, and I go, well, that's great. But unless you're taking these in the exact quantity and combination, you are not getting the same efficacy from those ingredients because each one of them is a nerve 2 activator. And if we were to graph it, then you would see that it activates nerve 2 like this much. But that combination makes it 1,800 times more effective than anything else that you can touch, which is huge. Now, the reason it's huge is, slide. Sorry, I have no control over my button pressing here. The reason that that's a really big deal is because see that number at the bottom of the screen there in front of you, that 1, the 3, and all of those zeros? That's 13 sextillion free radicals. On any given day, that's how many free radicals our body is exposed to in the world we're living in. Is that not mind-blowing? That's crazy. And if you are trying to neutralize those free radicals with a direct antioxidant, which is any antioxidant that you physically put in your mouth and that goes through your digestive system. So a blueberry is one antioxidant enzyme. Now, if you were trying to neutralize that many free radicals with blueberries, oh my God, that's a semi-trailer load full of blueberries, and you haven't even come close to touching it. And that's a lot of money, by the way, because they're not cheap little suckers. So that's not a very effective way. Antioxidants through our diet are brilliant and everybody should be eating an antioxidant-rich diet. But if you're trying to rely on that alone to make a dent in this number, you've got no hope in heck. But our antioxidant enzymes that we produce ourselves, 1 to 1 million, that's the ratio, 1 million free radicals per second, and they keep going until they burn out in the body. That's why what we've got our hands on is so effective. It literally can shut down 1 million per second. And that's not all. It's almost like one of those ads, isn't it? But wait, there's more. Because when we're able to make a dent and reduce that oxidative stress by that much, the other amazing thing that was proven with a research paper is that we are also able to increase our glutathione around 300% in 4 months, which is huge. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about glutathione, it is the mother of all antioxidant enzymes. And it is responsible for a whole host of things in the body. Some of those that you can see on the screen there in front of you. But it's huge. Glutathione alone is something that I encourage everybody to research because it is amazing. So don't take my word for it. I think I mentioned to you guys earlier that the science is the reason I came on board. The science, we've got 23 peer-reviewed studies on our blend alone. I'm not talking about one of the individual ingredients. I'm talking about the actual blend itself. Now, if I was to go into a pharmacy and pick up Blackmore's Executive B-Stress formula, guess what? There are no peer-reviewed studies on that product in PubMed. There might be a peer-reviewed study on an ingredient, but not on the actual blend. We have 23 peer-reviewed studies on our blend alone. And some of those studies are absolutely amazing. When I started 3.5 years ago with the company, I looked up oxidative stress in PubMed.gov, and there was 74,000 research articles on oxidative stress. And now, fast forward to today, if you look at oxidative stress on PubMed, there's over 178,500 research studies being conducted on oxidative stress. That is huge. The average cost of research can be around $50,000 a paper, and that's for a small paper. So you multiply an extra 100,000 research papers by that much over the last few years, and that should give you a really strong indicator of where we're headed with health and wellness, because scientists have gone, everything that you don't want to happen in the body, if we measure the blood of those people, oh my gosh, they've all got high levels of oxidative stress. There's a thing here, and that's where the research is going, connecting the dots. We have 13 patents worldwide on our product. Now, just to give you some kind of idea, you can't patent a natural ingredient. You can't do it. The only way that you can patent a natural ingredient is if you can prove that your blend, that your particular product, that combination of natural ingredients is so unique and so beneficial and does something that no other combination can do. That is the only way that you can patent a natural ingredient, and we have 13 patents worldwide. What we've got in our hands is truly unique, it's truly beneficial, and it's truly the future of health and wellness. We have TGA certification, and we're also certified by the Banned Substance Control Group, which is your Olympic athletes go to these guys to work out what they can and can't use. So it's huge what we've got in our hands. You can see that our product has been studied in multiple large-scale research facilities and universities around the world. We are the only branded natural health supplement to feature in Circulation, which is the American Heart Association journal. Now, that article is the reason we have so many cardiologists involved in the business, because that got their attention, got my attention too. So that's Protandim, which is the inside-out approach to health. So it's inside-out approach to NRF2 activation and cell health. But we've also got a skincare line, which is amazing. True Science is NRF2 activation from the outside in. Now, we've had multiple research papers which were conducted on skin cancer and melanoma. During those studies, the researchers were like, we get it. Okay, oh my God, we get it. So NRF2 activation is amazing. And someone piped up and said, you know, the skin is the largest organ of the body. It would be so great if there was a way that we could naturally NRF2 activate the skin. And the company went, well, I'm sure there's got to be a way. And that's what springboarded the research into our NRF2 activation system. And every single product in the skincare system has NRF2 activation. But it's not only that. The company's gone above and beyond to make sure it has none of those nasties in it. So you can see what's absent from it in the middle of the slide here. I don't get hung up on beauty stuff. Give me the health side of stuff any day. But what I will say is this. When I started using this, I was actually using something else first, and I was very loath to want to swap. But I swapped after I realized that what I had been using had a lot of those nasties in it that I hadn't even realized. They were the hidden nasties. I swapped, and the difference in my skin is tangible. You can physically see it, you can physically feel it. That's what I love about the skincare line. A lot of people who are relatively healthy will take NRF2 on the inside and not necessarily see or feel the benefits that are happening. But when you physically put it on your skin, you can see it for yourself. And I love that. So you can see there are a couple of examples there. I'm really not big on photos, honestly. I would rather people use it for themselves and actually see their own results, because let's face it, your own personal results speak louder than anyone else's does. There are some lovely set of hands there. Incidentally, I actually did do one of the back of my hands as opposed to the other one. That's very glaringly obvious what it does, and then it takes you forever to correct it, so I don't necessarily recommend it unless you're curious. But yes, we've got True Science, the hand cream. Look, I use that everywhere. I don't just use it on my hands. It is amazing. It smells amazing, and it is soft and supple, and it lasts forever. And you know what? It's a brilliant price, and so it's a great gift to give to people. So we talked a little bit about NRF2 activation. So knowing what it does from the inside out, and then also knowing what it does from the outside in. So knowing all of that, who do you know who needs NRF2 activation? Well, I say everybody. Now, I'm going to pass this slide over so that I can pass this over to the lovely Karen Murphy. Karen I've known for a really long time. And you know, we laugh about the fact that we're very similar in the way that we view the world. We're, very factual, and we like our I's dotted and our T's crossed. But what I love about Karen is that she is so facts and figures orientated. She's got backgrounds in accounting and just so incredibly knowledgeable. And when it comes to the business, anything to do with the business, I've literally got Karen on speed dial. Because if it's a question about compensation plans, if it's a question about anything, it's like Karen, and she knows it. I just don't know where she gets it from, but she knows everything. And so I love you guys just to spend a moment to listen to what Karen has to say, because what we've got helps everybody. And so sharing it comes naturally. And if you can share something and also benefit yourself and your family for future generations, that's an amazing combination. So please, I'm so excited, Karen. Take it away.
Thanks so much, Lisa. I love having that chance to hear you speak, and you explain things really well for people who might not understand the science, because it can get really complicated. So thank you for helping me understand it better. So yes, my background is accounting. I worked 7 years as a tax and small business accountant. So I often ask myself, like, why am I then sharing a health and science breakthrough? It's totally different and outside of what I was comfortable with doing. But it was because I became a mum that I wanted a way to get away from that 9-to-5 grind. I didn't want to sacrifice my time anymore or my worth. I was literally going to a job and just getting paid enough so that I wouldn't leave. But becoming a mum made me realize if things didn't change, then I'd be going back to this job that I didn't enjoy, and I was getting underpaid, and now I'd be losing all that time with my child. Something has to change. And that's when I went looking for a way to break away from the comfort zone I was in. And it was actually Lisa's sister, who is my sister-in-law. She invited me to come along to an information session in my area. And I was like, yes, I want to see you. I want to get out of the house. I didn't care what the information session was about. And she had no idea that I was looking for a way to become a stay-at-home mum and have a business from home. Little did I know that this would be the answer. When I saw that ABC News report that Lisa talked about at the beginning, I was like, holy heck, how come no one knows about this? That was my thought as well. And oh my goodness, is there a way that I can actually share this with other people and do it from home in my spare time and perhaps make a bit of money? Wow, I need to definitely look into this. And I think this is the answer that I've been looking for. And that was about 3.5 years ago, and I haven't looked back. I've been able to leave my accounting job. I get to do this in my spare time. I'm a stay-at-home mum. I also help my fiance run his business, traveled to America a couple of times. It's been the most incredible journey, and I never ever would have expected to be doing this just because I took a chance. I took a chance on myself and thought of the possibilities, because that's really what this business is about. It's the possibilities that are open for everyone. And so that's why we love sharing it, and also knowing that it's not going to share itself. You can't share the label only says so much, like Lisa explained. So sharing this with others and seeing what it's done to change people's both their health and their financial situation has just been the most incredible journey and experience. I'm so, so grateful. But I'll share a little bit about the business and then the ways that you can get started if you're looking at the products as a customer or as a business partner. So there are some big trends happening in the world right now, and one is social entrepreneurship. So that's really the trend that is booming. It's all to do with technology, using your smartphones and connecting people with a solution anywhere in the world. We don't have stock or offices or staff to worry about. We're literally the link. And it doesn't matter that I'm on the Gold Coast and Lisa's on the Sunshine Coast. We're still able to do this because of the power of social entrepreneurship. It's really quite incredible. And this industry is rapidly growing. The network marketing industry was something that I was extremely skeptical about. When I actually mentioned to my dad that I was going to be starting this business, he said, oh, not one of those bullshit Amway scams. That was his response. And was my upbringing, you know, to be very skeptical about this industry. But I think it's definitely coming back around. A few reasons why. There's some incredible leaders in the industry right now. Not only that, but it's a way for the average person to be able to create an extra income beside what they're already doing. Yes, for some people, it can be a full-time, multi-million-dollar business, and the average person has the opportunity to be able to create that. But even to just make a little bit extra a month, sharing something that you're going to use and love yourself, there's so much potential there for a lot of people. So we're also the leaders in a new medical breakthrough science called nutrigenomics, which is, I just love what nutrigenomics is. This is where a little bit of my nerdy side comes out. It's the science and study of how nutrition and naturally occurring compounds affect our genes. So our company is looking at natural ways to be able to enhance our life, both our lifespan and our life quality, and that's called biohacking. So that our products can biohack your health and our business can biohack your wealth by creating another income stream for your financial situation. There's also a study that Washington State University did on NRF2 activation, and it states in that study that NRF2 activation may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. That's a really, really significant statement. And knowing that Protandim is the world's most potent natural NRF2 activator on the market, that not a lot of people know about, there's a lot of potential there in terms of business opportunity. And timing is incredible. So if anyone knows a business's growth, there's this S-curve that happens. All businesses go through an S-curve of growth. So you've got your foundation and pioneering stage, and then momentum hits, and then stabilization. The best time for business is right before momentum, to be on board just before momentum, because momentum has 80% of a company's growth when you go through momentum. And, you know, honestly, the majority will hear about it towards the end of momentum and stabilization. That's just the way it works. It's pretty rare. It's almost a once in a lifetime opportunity to hear about something this significant before momentum, which is really, really what excites me. And it gives the average person, you know, I had no medical or health experience, no network marketing experience, but it's that being able to be one of the first people to share this with others. There's no market saturation right now. I kind of think of it like the Apple iPhone. I don't know anyone who had an iPhone 1 or 2, but the 3 and 4, that's when momentum hit for the iPhone and everyone was getting the iPhone. But we're like nearly at iPhone 2 stage. I reckon we're past that stage 1. And as soon as that momentum hits, it's going to be insane. We have an incredible corporate team as well. Darren Jensen, our CEO, he is just captaining our company just amazingly and taking us through a new phase of growth. He's got incredible industry experience and had other companies build up to $1 billion with him as the CEO. So you can join as a customer or a business owner. As a customer, I love that there's a couple of options for you. You can purchase retail, just like online shopping, with the distributor who shared this with you. They've got their own online store and you can shop that way. Or you can come in at a subscription order, which means you have an ongoing monthly order, which you can cancel, postpone, change anytime. There's no lock-ins, there's no fees, and you get a 20% cheaper price. So I think that's really, really great, as well as being able to have the subscription rewards and referral programs. So when you refer people, you earn points that you can redeem for free product. But you might be interested in the business side. We honestly have most people, they just want to get started on the product and feel it for themselves. And we love that. Our customers, they love the product. We've got a really great retention rate because once you feel it, like you don't want to stop. That's why I'm still here today, because I know what it's done for my health and my family's health. And I'll just never stop taking Protandim. But the business option is so awesome because you can start a business and have everything plus a website, your marketing and training materials for under $2,000 or even under $1,000. And you can start building a global business straight away and making money straight away. In my job as a small business accountant, I saw families invest tens, if not hundreds of thousands into starting up a business to not even make a profit in their first year, not even make a profit in their third year. It's pretty insane what some people will risk and invest into a business when opportunities like this are available. And that's why I saw there's not even any risk. You get all your product paid for, plus free product in the gold and platinum packs. I just love what the potential is with this. There's the 3 different pack options. It's kind of like entry level and then medium and large. The silver pack is really great if you're just looking at doing this as a hobby, or you might be wanting to get started. You don't have the finances, you can upgrade later on to the platinum pack, but the silver pack does have 10% less bonuses, so I like to mention that. The gold and platinum are fantastic. You get free product on top of what's in the price of the pack, so it's really, really worth it in the end. So you can get paid up to 8 different ways. I'm not going to go through all the compensation plan, but we've got a really generous upfront smart start bonus. So you can start earning income, in your first week, and then the royalty commissions or your ongoing monthly income. I love that this is a business that I'm able to build and then pass on to my daughter. It's what I call a legacy asset business. Because what I'm building now, I'm getting paid month after month from the work I did 3 years ago, and that will continue to happen. And as I pass it on to my daughter, that's going to help set her up in the long run. And you can actually will it down 5 generations. So for me as a mum, that is something really, really special. I could have worked 50, 60 years as an accountant and, have nothing to pass on to her. So how far can you take this business? It is totally up to you. I am so grateful for the flexibility of this business. My priority is being a mum, and I still have the opportunity to be able to help my fiance run his company. Like Lisa, she helps her husband run 2 businesses and has still been able to build this to the premier level ranks. As well, we are mums. There's a lot of mums who do this because it's the flexibility that we love. Being a mum first and then also being able to create a global business is really quite exciting. We have people in those elite and master levels who are creating insane monthly incomes that totally changes not only your life, but the lives of generations to come. So how do we support you in the business? There's a system. We have a launch, learn, and lead training system. There's ongoing trainings. We have training is endless. So you can do it all for free. You don't need a qualification. You can get started and start doing the business and earn while you learn. So you might be wondering whether you can do this. You might be thinking, oh, who can I talk to? Oh, I might want to just get started on the product. Awesome. That is totally all normal. I remember looking back and wondering, I've heard about this. I think it's for a reason. What if I don't say yes? What if I just let it pass me by and go back to my accounting job? 50 years time, I think I'm going to regret it. Even 5 years time, I know I'll regret it and miss out on all that time with my daughter. So I always just recommend have a think about it. Is it something that you would regret if you said no? And you just never know the possibility, the potential of this. You just never know. I honestly would have never thought the things that have happened, the people's health that we've been able to change, the people we've been able to meet, the places we've been able to see. I just never would have thought. And that's the possibility that this business offers. So I just encourage you to go and let whoever invited you, let them know where you're at, whether you want to get questions answered or do more research. Go to PubMed, the website Lisa talked about, or you be ready to start as a customer. Awesome. You can do that online, or they can help you do that, or look at the distributor and business packs. Thank you for taking the time out to listen in tonight. If you've got any questions, feel free to stay on. I'm going to end the meeting now. Feel free to leave the meeting if you've got no questions. Otherwise, we'll end it there, and we can get you unmuted if you've got any questions. Thank you so much, Lisa, as well, for taking the time out tonight. I really appreciate it.